What's going on, everybody? You're in the den with aaronebm, trying to figure out the words to really express the way I'm feeling. As a man, we're bound by so many different rules and regulations and codes of conduct and what we should do or what we should not do. A lot of us have been trained not to show emotion. Depending on where we were or where we live at, it goes straight from using a fist to using guns. As a man, you have pride, your dignity, and a lot of us, that's all we do have. Our first instinct when we are wronged is to right the wrongs that was done to us. What I'm talking to you about tonight is what do you do as a man when you're wronged? How do you react, and what are you supposed to do, or how are you supposed to react? Whether it's somebody off the street that doesn't know you that does you wrong, or if it's a family member that does you wrong. Because you guys got to remember, family members will often hurt you or harm you or do you wrong quicker than somebody on the street will, because they know that most of the time you're soft targets and you're not really going to retaliate in a way that would normally end up a lot worse if it was somebody, a stranger or somebody on the street. I'm saying this because we've all been done wrong, but there is a lot of good things that you can learn. So you guys have to realize stuff that's good for you at that moment when you're doing it doesn't feel good. It almost seems counterproductive or counterintuitive to do the things that are better for you in that instant. Whether it's going to the doctor, a lot of us men don't want to go to the doctor. We're afraid of what the doctor will tell us. But when we do those things, when we be proactive, even though we don't like it, it ends up being something better for us in the long run. Stay away from doing something brash or doing something that you will not be able to ever take back. It's not what you want to do. And I'm not saying, be foolish. This is not about being foolish. There's nothing in this world, or if you're a reader of any Bible or religious text, to tell you to do anything that is remotely idiotic or counterproductive to your own health or well-being. Pulling yourself back and realizing that the situation is not as bad as you think it is will help you immensely. So I'm not saying you go out kissing that person's butt. No, you can never deal with them again. It's a part of what happens to when people burn their bridges with you. You do the best you can to be a good person. That will solve a lot of the problems that men have in society, period. Because as a masculine, testosterone driven men, we are quick to be the person that rights their own wrong. But we are in a society of rules. We have to live within that construct of rules, or else we suffer the consequences of breaking those rules. People say that's weak, and a lot of people will tell you that will keep so many men, out of trouble. It's Colossians 3:25. But if you do what is wrong, you will be paid back for the wrong you have done. God has no favorites. You have to sit back and believe your enemies will be your footstool. You have to go to bed at night understanding that person or parties that have done you wrong will need you way before you will ever need them. If you cut those people off, if you cut that person off, they'll be the ones that have to realize when they need help. They ruined a good thing. They ruined a really good thing. In the end of the day, I want you guys to know that reacting out of emotions will never do you any good. Acting out of emotions are the things that get us as men locked up. It gets us as men hurt, harmed, doing things to each other that we can never take back. It puts you in a position to where you're now no longer the righteous person that you thought you were, and understand that those people will get what's coming to them, whether they're your family member or they're the next person on the street. You are not in control of who does something bad to you. That's the worst thing about as being a man, that sometimes you're in positions that you feel like you are powerless in, or if you could have went left instead of right, it wouldn't happen. You can't control what people do, their actions, but you can control how you react. You can control who is in and out of your life, and you control the peace in your life, because that's the number one thing, your peace. Keep your peace. Remember that the time that you waste being angry or upset at somebody, you will never get back. And remember, as long as you're above ground, that day is always a good day. But somebody needed to hear this. Until next time, everybody. Peace.